live. Okay, so today's lesson really is solving inequalities with negatives. And again, I'm going to write up here on the top that when you multiply or divide by a negative, turn the sign, okay? Sorry, my handwriting's so sloppy. It's a good thing I'm not an English teacher, huh? Can't even spell. So, when you multiply or divide by a negative, you turn the inequality sign, okay? You have to, otherwise you won't get a true expression. So, let's take a look at the first examples, okay? So, solve each equation for the indicated variable and graph the solution on a number line, okay? So, all right, 6x. 6 times x, there's an invisible times. So, if I divide by 6, the answer is not 2, not even negative 2. It's 1/2, okay? Everybody, can you see how it's 1/2? But it's going to be a negative 1/2. 3, 6 reduces as a fraction to 1/2. You didn't get one? Now, I'm going to have x. I'm going to reduce this to negative 1/2. And I divided by a 6, by positive 6. So I just keep it the way it was. I did not divide by a negative. There's no negative 6. So we have an expression, x is greater than or equal to negative 1/2. So on a number line, a little bit of reference, 0, negative 1, and I can put my negative 1/2 here. Don't have to have a lot of numbers, just enough numbers to give me a reference where it's at. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a solid dot at negative 1/2. Greater than or equal to, shade that direction. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay, there's one thumb up. Thanks, Artie. Okay, there you go. Okay, number 2, 4x. Here's the x. 4 times x is invisible, so we'll divide by 4. Divide by 4. I'll get x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. I divided by a paused number, so I don't turn the sign, keep the sign the way it is. And so if I read it backwards, x is greater than 3. So my number line.
So if it's a negative, then so if it's a negative, then it turns into then it's a fraction, but if it's a positive, then you can actually divide.
No, great question. Hold on, you always ask good questions. Let me come back to this, okay? So, Mars, 3, 6. If the bottom number is bigger, it's going to be a fraction.
Okay.
If the top number is bigger, then it goes into it. How's that?
Yeah.
And you can even, on a calculator, if you get confused, on a calculator, if you went negative 3 divided by 6, what do you get? It's like a decimal or 1/2, right? Or if you went 12 divided by 4, what do you get? Okay, how's that? Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to go x is, read it backwards, greater than or equal to 3, so open circle. Greater than is this direction, okay? Thumbs up? Okay, this should be just an easy review of what we've done. Now, I like to rewrite this when my computer doesn't type things quite the way I want them to, but it really is like this. So I'm going to rewrite the question so it looks better. It's really x divided by 6, and I didn't type it very well. Again, if we're solving for equations, we always undo it, so the opposite of divide by 6 is multiply by 6. So if I multiply this side by 6 and multiply this side by 6, then it will cancel the 6. And then we'll have x is greater than 72, okay? Now, the answer is not going to be 2, and I can help you out with this. Sometimes this really confuses kids, but watch. What divided by 6 is 12?
3, or 2, sorry.
It's going to be 72. You guys agree with that? The answer can't be 2 because 2 divided by 6 is make 12. It has to be 72. That's another way to look at it. What divided by 6 is 72 is going to be our 72, okay? Graph that. Again, I don't need all the numbers. I just need a little bit of reference. 0, 72, that's good enough for me. Greater than 72, so I'm going to go ahead and open circle and greater than. Okay, so far pretty easy, right? You guys agree? Now here's the fraction. And again, I'll rewrite it because it doesn't, when I type this up, it doesn't quite look, I really want it to look like this. So there's two ways to do it. One is to multiply by the reciprocal, which is the way I like to do it, but if you want to do it in 2 steps, you can multiply by 3 first, and then divide by 2. That'll work. Mars?
This doesn't really have anything to do with math, but so if you're about to sneeze, do you do it in your mask or can you take off your mask?
Oh, please do it in your mask. That's the whole point, right?
Why would you take off your
Because if you take off your mask, you're spreading your germs, right?
It's like sneezing into yourself.
I know, which means you keep your germs. We don't get to share them.
Sneeze on somebody else?
No, like in your shoulders.
I
and
mean,
like
yeah,
that.
but
Or go outside in the hall and sneeze. How's that?
I'm
Sorry.
That's okay. Mars, is a good question. Mars, how's this? I got a good solution for you. Go out in the hall and sneeze.
Okay.
Okay, I like the reciprocal. For me, I like the reciprocal because it's a little bit more sophisticated. You know, we've got to start getting reciprocal. So we always do the opposite. The opposite of 2 here is the so multiply by the opposite. And the reason I multiply by the opposite is because you can see that my 2 cancels my 2, my 3 cancels 3. And then over on this side, that's like 12 over 1. We don't normally write the 12 over 1, but how do you do this? Well, you could do it in a calculator, or you could be smart. You watching how smart we are? I go 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Or 12 times 3 is 36 divided by 2 is 18. I like 2 goes in 12 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Now, I did not multiply or divide by a negative, so I just have x is less than or equal to 18. I'll go ahead and do my number line. Okay, 0, 18. I just need some reference. Less than or equal to, it has to be a solid dot because of the equal to. Less than 18 is all of that, okay? Now, example 5 is different. Here's where we're going to divide by a negative, okay? So, we're going to turn the sign. We are going to turn the sign. We're going to divide by negative 4. When we divide by a negative, we're going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to rewrite this as less than or equal to. So I turned it. And I turn because I divided by a negative. Okay, so if we divide by a negative, we turn the sign. We have x is less than or equal to a negative 3. It changes the problem completely. It gives me a completely different answer. But I divided by a negative, so I turn the inequality sign. So I'm going to go negative 3, 0, and I'm going to go solid dot because it equals negative 3. Less than negative 3. Shades that way, okay? All right, show me thumbs up on that one. Okay, good. Good, okay? Example 6, same way. I'm going to divide by a negative 8. Okay, if I divide by negative 8, I'm going to divide it by a negative. So I'm going to turn the sign. So I'm going to make it less than. Okay? So negative 8 cancels off x. Negative 16 divided by negative 8 is a positive 2. So I just get x as less than 2.
number line. I've got my 0 and my 2. Since it does not equal, I'll put an open circle, does not equal 2. And I'll shade everything in that direction, okay? Thumbs up? Good. Thumbs up, okay? Return the sign because we divided by negative. Okay, turn the page. Okay. So, example 7, let me rewrite it. It should really look like this. And you know what the homework is? Just do the journal work for homework, okay? So again, what divided by 3 is 21? It's got to be 63. It's got to be, in fact, it's got to be a negative 63, but I'll show you, okay? Okay, so instead of trying to do it in your head, what's the opposite of divide by? Multiply, right? So I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 3, multiply by a negative 3, okay? The reason I multiply by negative 3 is because it'll cancel it, and all you'll have is just the x value. But I did multiply by a negative, didn't I? Multiplied by a negative, so I'm going to turn my sign. So I'm going to change my sign to greater than. 21 times negative 3 is a negative 63. On a number line, I don't need a lot, just a little reference, huh? Negative 63 here, maybe 0 there. Does not equal to it, does not, so it's an open circle. Greater than, goes that way. Okay, almost done. Almost done. So, number 2, again, it'd be easy to rewrite it like this, negative 2/5 x greater than or equal to 10. I just like it written like that. Press, he just left.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. So, how do we undo this? What's the opposite of negative 2/5? Simon?
Negative 5 halves.
Negative 5/2. I like that. Negative. Okay. Do it to both sides. Now, if you don't like doing it this way, you can do it 2 steps. Multiply by 5 first, then divide by negative 2. This works. I divided by negative, didn't I? Actually, multiply by negative, so I'm going to turn my sign. Turn. So I'm going to go, okay. That cancels with that. That cancels that. I'm just left with x. I like to do it this way. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 2 goes to 10 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25, but a negative 25. Negative 25. I'll put 0 in as a reference. It says x is less than or equal to solid dot. That way, okay. Okay, number 9, almost done. So you earn $15 an hour at a summer job. Write and solve an inequality that represents the numbers of hours needed to work to buy a cell phone for $450. Okay, well, that's easy. $15 an hour, right? $15 an hour. So let me ask you a really easy question, super easy question. What if you make more than $450? Would you quit your job? No. You can make. Can you make more than $450? Sure. Let's make more or equal. So what would I write? If I make more, what would I write? Greater than or equal to. How about if I make more than that, right? So 450. Right? So if I make more than $450, then I buy my cell phone and put the rest of the money in my pocket, right? That's all good. So to solve, I'll divide by 15. 15. Oh, what's 450 divided by 450 divided by 50? What's that?
It's 30.
It is 30. I should have, yeah, duh. Of course it is. 15 goes 453. Thank you.
You're wrong.
I did not need a calculator, did I, Simon?
No.
I'm embarrassed for myself.
I told you the answer.
Yes, you did. So I work 30 hours or more. That's why the greater than, right? Or more. 30 hours or more. 30 hours or more. Okay, that's all I have. Pretty easy assignment. You guys agree? So let me go ahead and show you what I want you to do for the assignment.